Very good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible to everyone. I hope I am audible to everyone. Good afternoon. Great.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
A good number. Let everyone join and then we'll start. Okay. So this is my profile. I am your AIF Master Trainer, and it's a journey of 12 years. And right now I am on a platform to give, webinars, live webinars to, the teachers who are looking forward for implementing new approaches in the classroom. So it is something which is great to share with everyone. And today's topic of delivering the webinar is, of course, rainbow learning, right? So it is a case study based rainbow learning approach. In this approach, it is actually designed for, right from foundation years to higher grades. Teachers were asking whether it is only meant for, foundation years. So no, not at all. It is meant for everyone, right from foundation years till, higher grades, we can implement it, right? So very interesting. Let's see what all we will cover in today's session. So first of all, we'll talk about this whole approach. What is it? Then I shall be putting some light on benefits for learners. And definitely when learners are getting benefit, definitely there is a role of teacher too, right? So role of teacher also we'll discuss. Then, what is the psychology behind this rainbow learning approach? Very interesting, because there should be some basis behind every learning technique or approach. Then, how you will implement it in your classroom, and what are the rest of else benefits related to it, we shall be discussing in detail. And very important thing which I have not mentioned in here, as you have seen in my previous webinars as well, I always merge the approaches. So this time I will merge this approach with which approach is again a giveaway for you all, right? So in my incoming slides, I shall be sharing that with which approach I shall be, merging this rainbow learning, right? Okay, so let's move ahead. Great. So the whole approach is actually revolving around these following attributes. So as you can see on the screen, who is the one for which we are, talking about here in this approach, for which this approach is actually meant for. Then who is doing it? Again, very interesting. What is doing? Very interesting. Then where? Either it is at home or in the school. Then to who you are giving it. Again, so here in all the attributes, I can see three important things, that is students, teachers, and school. So you can implement at, at your home as well if the parents are so much motivated. Otherwise, it is actually meant for your classroom, right? You all are educators. I hope you are doing, making your sessions enriched with different type of learning approaches. So yes, today's approach is actually revolving around all these, attributes. Very interesting. So with the incoming slides, we shall make it clear how we are doing it. Okay, this is a true fact which I am sharing on the screen, and it is troublesome too, because mostly schools are inflexible and resistant to change. Because change is the process of life, we all know it. but who is accepting and doing it in the education system is again a irony, right? So if your school is a typical blackboard chalk system school, then we need to take certain steps for, implementing new approaches as per the need of time. Because we have unique learners in our classroom. Every child is unique. So we have to think for each and every child, then only we shall be able to, deliver our best in our classrooms. Very simple. But it is not like that, that the children, for every child you are making a separate lesson plan, or you are making different, number of strategies in the same classroom. No, I never say this in my webinars. Definitely teacher centric model should be there, where the teacher is flexible to use one or two strategies properly, making a, classroom personalized for them who actually need it, and for rest of them peer learning. Very simple. So yes, of course, teachers, the ball is in your court as well. It is not only meant for the students, for teachers as well. Learning is an isolated activity. Sometimes we feel in these typical schools, learning is lost somewhere because we are not doing in a way which is actually to be done so that we will deliver the max. Mostly schools are discouraging creative thinking, very necessary, because here creative thinking is actually making my student think out of the box, learning new things, doing brainstorming, actually giving me learning. When we talk about me time, it is again me learning for the child. That is your creative thinking. So don't discourage your students to go for that. Typical schools go for this thing. It's again a truth and a fact, which is actually giving birth to rainbow learning approach, which is one of the approaches. Very simple. Lack of equality and equity and quality. Equality and equity, we had talked in the last webinar also. Equality means giving to everyone. That is absolutely great. But equity means what? Giving everyone according to that pace of the child. Very necessary. If there are 3 children in my classroom who are of different heights, who are of different tangents, equality means I'm giving to everyone, but equity means according to the height of everyone, according to the tangent of everyone. So every school is not giving this thing. Very interesting. Next is learning is still burden, sum and mechanical activity. So here, actually, we are just focusing on learning, and I'm just making twist and turn in my learning approach to reach that learning objective. Very simple. So it was a fact. Now, quickly, let's move on towards our topic, that is the concept behind this rainbow learning. Now, the whole concept which is designed is on the basis of a case study. There were in that particular class, I had just given a, blank page and, colors to the children, right? Few members were also there in that case study, right? And we had examined each and every child in that classroom. So what had happened actually, that we have given paper and colors to everyone. Few of them, they make whatever they want to make without giving any instruction. Few took the instruction because they're actually looking forward for the instruction. And few, after taking the instruction, also didn't done anything. Very simple. So that was the case study which gave birth to this concept of rainbow learning. Rainbow is having so many colors, right? And it is actually a color which is your perception. So in your rainbow learning theory or approach, we are actually understanding the colors. We are actually understanding the perception of the child. So this theory is actually revolving around the perception. What is the perception of the child? Very simple, because the color is used by the child. You are delivering something to the child and you are making the child to perform that particular task in the classroom. So which colors the child use is the perception of the child. Very interesting. Our eyes see something, for example, sky, and data sent from our eyes to our brain tell us it is about that color. So that is your perception. It shows that what is going to your brain, what signals are going to your brain, what you are actually getting from it is the basis of this rainbow learning, right? Brain pick up those wavelength combination and translate them into phenomena we call color. Very simple. So here we are actually not talking about the neurons. We are actually talking about colors, right, in relation with the neurons, right? So transmitting the signal is the work of the brain cells, but here it is on the basis of colors. So colors are having different psychology. We read the psychology of the child with this, and we are understanding the perception of the child is the basis of whole webinar. Beautiful picture. The child is fully dedicated. Great foundation stone to develop creativity and love for arts in the kids. Very interesting. So here the session is literacy session, right? But here I am using number of colors. I am using my pen, my pencil. I'm using letters also. I'm using CVC words also. So definitely it is not my art session. Here my literacy is going on. But the basis of my literacy session is rainbow learning. Here I am talking about the perception of the child, whether the child is using black color, whether the child is using yellow, blue, whatever, right? So on the basis of that, I shall be doing the color theory perception in the mind, understanding the psychology of the child and delivering accordingly in my upcoming sessions. Okay, so let's talk about the objectives. So definitely every approach is having certain objectives, right? So let's see what are the objectives behind this rainbow learning approach. Definitely everyone wants to know. Now for foundation years, if I say it is developing the fine motor skills, very simple. But now I quickly want to move towards the higher grades, primary and elementary children, to help children focus, improve focus. So if you are having children in your classroom who lack focus, for them, your rainbow learning approach is the perfect choice. One of the perfect choice, you can say. Now, it is actually building the creativity also, right? So me as an educator very well know out of my 20 children, who is the one who is there in a stage to, nurture that creativity of the child. Very interesting, right? Every child is creative. We always say this. We have a mission as well and vision clear in our mind that every child is unique. But still, there are certain children who are actually meant for creativity only, right? So this is building your creativity. It helps develop color recognition. Color recognition as a special educator in the school, the special educator, yes. Okay, so it is actually helping develop color recognition. So color recognition is something which as a special educator, we find in different classrooms that children are facing, the distinguishing in different colors. So here your rainbow learning is involving that objective also, because this is something which can be visible in your special children, if you have special children in your classroom. Then it is helping you build reading skills. Very interesting. The picture which I had shown you in the previous slide, that is the child was making that ball and all. And on the basis of that ball or picture, we are enhancing the reading skills. How? That I shall be sharing you with in incoming slides. Now, first of all, let's talk about the psychology. I told you the concept, whole concept. Now I told you the objectives. Now I'm coming towards the psychology. Very interesting. Now this is for early years. Gradually, I will move towards the higher grades. For early years, it is improving the hand-eye coordination, very interesting. It is developing the creative skills, nurturing the potential of the child, keeping the kids engaged off screen. Now, this is something on which I really want to put stress on, because children are very much screen holic nowadays, right? They have iPads, they have YouTube easily accessible in the mobile phones, in TV. So here, off screen engagement is being done by this rainbow learning approach. Very interesting. And it is increasing your finger control too. If you have children in your classroom who have less fingers, grip, or you can say pincer grip or tripod grip, for them, you can use this approach very easy. Now moving towards the higher grades. Now higher grades teacher, this is for you. Definitely for foundation years also we can keep it in mind, but it is too early to understand this in the foundation years. So I really don't want the early years teachers to go for this as such, because we are actually inculcating in them that what is red, what is yellow, what is green. So let them take that much of time to understand, which color is looking very beautiful, which color is bright, which is not bright, which is very conservative. So let them give that much of time to understand this. But definitely higher grade children, they are completely understanding red, yellow, green, blue, orange, off white. So now as a teacher, if I'm looking forward in my classroom that everyone is using bright colors, but there are 2 or 3 children in my classroom who are actually using the colors which are having a certain psychological traits, then definitely I should have a concern in my mind. I can talk to my special educator also. I can talk to the parents also. And I can talk to the child as well, that what is the state of your mind. Very interesting, right? So here all the colors are looking perfect, right? Here in orange, for example, I can see low saturation. So low saturation means calming, which is a good one. Stimulation, good one, right? But to an extent. So if anyone is using orange color, then you can understand the psychology of the child. If any child is using maximum of red color, then the attributes are alertness, excitement, overexcited child. I can see ADHD children in my classroom. So they use maximum red color. They use least green and blue color. So in that case, I can get an alarm, okay, though it is by choice, but in higher grades, I can understand this. Very interesting. Off-white, which is a sign of positivity, attention and clarity is used very least by the children. I hope you all are agreed with me. White is the color which is least used in that color box. I hope everyone is on the same page with me. And we are actually not, giving that much attention to the white color. Why not? Why? Why not using? Ma'am, it is already white. My sheet is already white, ma'am. Why should I supposed to use white? Very interesting. No, white is also a color. Use it, right? This is your rainbow learning approach psychology about the colors. So always try to figure it out, what is going in your classroom, what is the temperament of your child, because I hope everyone is making the anecdotal records. We are having this document in our profile that we need to make it. So make it accordingly. Use different approaches to make it, to understand it in a better way. Okay, so let's move towards the skills. What skills does rainbow learning enhances, right? So why I should use rainbow learning approach in my classroom is a question, right? Why is always there. So why I'm using it, again, a question. So let's put some light on it. It is developing hand strength. This is for early years. but it is enhancing visual perceptual skills. Now it is for higher grades. Few children are just doing visual learning, following the WAC model, just copying it from the board and doing. Very simple. But it is not wrong. Do you think so? Is it wrong? If visual learning is going on in the classroom, what do you think? You can come to the chat box and you can reply as well, making a session collaborative one that yes, WAC learning model is saying that visual learners are there. So there's nothing wrong in that. Visual perceptual skills. But your own perception, visual is just copying what you are looking at the board. Perception is what you are thinking, right? If ma'am is making white color cloud on the board, is it possible the child can make it blue or black as well? Yes, it is the perception of the child, right? So we are actually enhancing the perceptual skills of the child. Now, if any of you is a science teacher making lungs with purple color on the board, and if anyone is making lungs with red color on the board, there might be a child in your classroom who is making lungs with pink color, right? So that muscle can be of red color, that muscle can be of pink color, that muscle can be of mauve color, depending upon the perceptual of, perception of the child. So here I am not stopping the perception of the child. I hope you are getting my point. It is not universal. Do you think so? Right? My body parts color is not universal. It is just my perception that I'm making the things pink or red because I'm relating them with the muscles. But definitely, if I'm making my sun of purple color, then I need to took a call for the universal facts. Otherwise, perceptual facts are okay. You can give this much liberty to the children to enhance their perceptual skills. Very interesting. Next is enhance precision skills in grasp. Okay, so if I'm saying whatever I have made on the board, just copy it the same way. That is what I'm feeling that, that precision should be there, right? So it is for the things which are actually meant in that way only, right? If I have made a particular diagram, it should be in that triangle shape only. It should not hold any circle shape. So that is to be enhanced by this rainbow learning approach. This approach is saying this thing, that this skill can be worked on, but again, you need to take care of understanding different shapes to the children, making them understand what is the precision, why it is required in this lesson plan, right? Otherwise, I'm talking about perception, that perception is different for everyone. So why not open our window of perception for the kids as well? Then next is encourage creativity. Definitely, your rainbow learning is encouraging the creativity and producing something which we are actually feeling proud of. So yesterday only we were having a very interesting session in our classroom, which is actually related to the innovative idea. In that innovative idea, every child was given a piece of paper and just simple innovative idea was written on the board, nothing else. And children come up with different ideas, very surprising as well, very interesting too, and some of them were actually not realistic too, but we do not know about the future. So this generation which is right now with to whom we are teaching actually is the generation which is our future, which is the future of our country, right? So we as educators should open our arms for creativity. Definitely. We do not know which student of our class will reach to that zenith where we are actually not thinking of or something like that. So always encourage creativity, maximum creativity in your classroom. You do not know what you will achieve, by the end of that particular session as a learning object. Your whole learning objective will be like with flying colors after encouraging such creativity in the children. Now, creativity is actually going hand in hand with the confidence. Very simple. So confidence is raised by visual perceptual skills, because I'm giving that much time to think. I'm giving that much liberty to the children to show their own perception, right? I'm giving that much of liberty to the child to show their creativity. So definitely I am raising the confidence of the child. Now attention increase. Yes, if I'm just writing something on the board and I'm not making them to draw the same thing and making the same thing in the form of, diagram or flow chart, they will not give that much engagement in the classroom. In previous sessions also, we had talked about the student engagement in the classroom. Student engagement is maximum when you are giving that content to the child in the classroom. Just writing on the board is not actually the content. Give it in a form of a flow chart, giving in a form of a graph, give it in a form of a Venn diagram. There are number of ways which can easily increase the, attention of the child. Interesting. Okay, so the next one is enriched session for primary. Now I am putting light on enriched session for primary children. Here I am just sitting as a teacher in between them, and I've just provided a culminating project to them. Very all in all project, one big piece of paper, and content is provided to them, right? So this is enriched for primary children. This is not for early years, right? Because the children are little grown up. So here topic is given to them and they are just, creating what is related to that particular content. So it is an enriched session for the primary children. I hope there are some primary teachers in this webinar, and I really appreciate if you are doing such, base group or, circle time with the children following such approaches. It is actually a good warm-up morning session, or it can be a very nice ending session too, right? Because if the child is going home happily, that is the best thing we are getting in that particular whole day. I hope you are getting my point. Now I am looking for foundation. Okay, hopefully I have some foundation years teachers too here. So your coloring is actually improving your fine motor skills. So fine motor skills are the one which are actually the beginning one, and we are making or building the whole block that is our little child, right? So here definitely my rainbow learning sessions are very nice in the foundation years and in the higher grades too. Higher grades children are actually looking forward for the teachers who are giving them, those sessions which are actually not chalk and board type. So they are very happy with this. And foundation year children are actually happy because they need it. So I hope you are getting my point that foundation years teachers do it because we are inculcating, and high grade teachers do it because children are actually looking forward for those teachers who are making their lesson plan as per their mindset and perception. Looking forward for some more benefits of rainbow learning approach. Let's see what is here. The very first is healthy way to relieve stress. Yes, higher grade teachers, it is a very interesting way to relieve the stress. Whole day, 6 to 7 periods. If any one session, if any one lesson plan is following this approach, is actually making the child feel relief from the stress. Higher grade teachers, you can design such sessions for making the children reach learning objective as per their perception and relief, and you also feel relief rather saying and delivering and speaking the whole content. You just make a whole flow chart give them the liberty to do the color in the flow chart and draw the flow chart, and the whole topic is being covered in that diagram, graph, or flow chart. Very simple. You are also sorted. They are also happy. Stress is released, and it will be a perfect session, learning objective based session. It calms the brain and helps your body relax. Definitely, if a teacher is just saying for 40 minutes continuously saying and saying, that auditory learning is no more active after 2 to 3 periods. Definitely. If I, as a student, sit for whole day in the classroom doing so much auditory learning, I hope you can understand after 2 to 3 periods, it is very difficult to understand this. How my auditory signals will work. Definitely. If someone is keep on saying. So as teachers, as you can sit with your whole bunch of teachers and designing the session, that one session, it can be theoretical. Then in one session, I can go for this approach. And in the next session, I can go for this approach, making a complete day very fruitful, very enriched, and you won't believe it is helping you as well, because daily just planning the content is actually not the learning process is. I hope you are getting my point, and I hope you are agreed with me that this diversity should be there within the teachers as well. This can improve sleep and fatigue. Very interesting. If there is lot of fatigue, right, then if you are feeling like say, then it is relieving your stress and it is improving your sleep, because your auditory, visual, kinesthetic are balanced. This WAC model is saying your visual, auditory, and kinesthetic should be balanced in whole day. If one teacher is taking complete visual lesson, then the next teacher can go for the auditory lesson. And then the next teacher can go for the kinesthetic experiential learning session. In this way, we design our whole day. And definitely, trust me, I assure you, if you are designing the whole day, mother teacher is the one who is there for the entire day in the classroom. But subject teachers, if sit along and design the whole day, I assure you, children will learn more. You will see the more student engagement in your classroom. If there is more student engagement, there will be more student motivation. And if it is more, the motivation is more, the success is more in the classroom. And definitely, if success is more, you will also feel proud that, okay, my class students are doing fabulous and with good colors. Now, it is decreasing your body aches, feelings of depression and anxiety, definitely for the higher grades. The higher grade teachers, it is very good one that if you go for such approaches in your session, at least twice in a week. If you are doing such things in your classroom, if you are making your class enriched by such sessions, definitely the children will also get more connected with you. So that student teacher connection model will also be fruitful here in this case of rainbow learning approach. Now it is reducing the anxiety. Whatever there is in my mind, and I'm taking a lot of things home, by the end of the day, I feel okay. This was done in the classroom because lots of things were done in a theoretical manner. So here, your rainbow learning, your different coloring perceptions theory is actually reducing the anxiety. This is enhancing the creativity on one hand. If you have star of the month system in your school, if you have any other appreciation system in your school, this is actually fruitful in that way, right? You are doing something, you are putting it on the notice board, and you are making the child feel very happy, creative, and your learning objective is also reached simultaneously. So what is wrong in it? What is bad in it? Definitely, we can go for such things, making the children, confident as well. As I've told you, the skills which are involved in the rainbow learning. Okay, very interesting. Now for higher grades again, coloring is increasing the memory, right? Now, I really want to contribute everyone, right? You can come to the chat box or you can unmute yourself as well. And you can contribute for this, how this is going to be done, how it is increasing the memory. What do you think? Yes, come on, educators, everyone. It is for everyone, that how you are able to do this, how it is increasing the memory in the of the children in the classroom. Definitely, if I have a flow chart or I have a paragraph of a topic in my classroom, definitely I will grasp more from the flow diagram rather than the paragraph. Very simple. Why? Because it is very precise, right? It is very clear. It is using less words. It is using those, sight words which are actually meant to describe it in whole, rather making it in complete sentence. So my memory is enhanced because I understand the whole flow diagram in my mind rather than grasping the whole, paragraph. So in that case, the subjects which the social science teachers, they can use easily this flow chart system, because in their subject there is a lot of theoretical work, right, and lot of facts which you cannot change. So the subjects which are having such limitations, there my rainbow learning approach is going fabulous. Let's move on to the next one. It is increasing the mindfulness and attention. We had already talked about it, and just putting it in nutshell that yes, attention is something which I as an educator looking forward in the classroom. If I have 20 in my classroom, definitely I feel that I as a teacher, if I am talking in front of them, they should give me that much attention. So here your rainbow learning is again fruitful if you are looking forward for mindfulness and attention in your classroom. Your colorful diagrams, your colorful flow charts, your different kind of models will help them to go for mindfulness and attention. Definitely engagement and enjoyment. Right now, the school system has been completely changed. That troublesome false fact system is not no more, in the society. Though rather there are few schools who are not actually looking forward for the change, but still we can give our complete to the children, so that when they will reach their home,